things that generally annoyed me in school. Let's talk about it. Now, let's get this one out of the way. Waking up early. This was the number one thing I hated when it came to school. I hated having to wake up for school, especially by how early I had to wake up. For me, when it came to school, I had to wake up at like 5 to 5:30 just to get there because of like traffic and stuff. And that low-key sucked because all I'm thinking about is going to sleep, man. Like it's 5:30 in the morning. It's still dark outside and I'm just like, oh my gosh, bro, I gotta get ready for school. And this early too. I also didn't even understand how people could be energetic during this time. Like I would just be walking around and seeing people just like all happy and yelling and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's literally 6 o'clock in the morning. How are you awake like this? Like for real, I couldn't even eat breakfast, man. I was just so tired because it was literally just like so early for me that I just couldn't even register breakfast because I was so tired. I'm just like, man, I need to catch some Z's, man. Now we're on to homework. I'm pretty sure most of us, if not all of us, don't really like homework. But you know what annoys me the most is when every class you take gives you homework. That is the most annoying thing, or at least when almost all your classes give you homework. Sometimes I would have to break it up and be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna be doing this during lunch, this during after school, and then like maybe this in the morning. Like that was so annoying. I hated that, having to piece together everything like that. That was just annoying. Like I always hated homework, but I especially hated when classes would just like almost every class you took, they would just give you some sort of piece of homework. That was just annoying. And it's almost a lot of it too. And I'm just like, dude, like why are you giving us this much? Like, we already got other classes. Why are you giving us this much? But you know what's also annoying? Having a quiz or a test back to back. Like in one class, you'll have one quiz, and then in the second class, you'll have another quiz. Then in the third class, you'll have a full-on test. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. I hated that. Like, you were literally having a quiz or a test back to back. And that was just like, that was a lot. Like, it might sound simple, but it's just like, dang. That's a lot. Like, I straight up hated having a quiz or a test back to back like that because it just like, it meant more studying, bro. It's like, nobody wants to do that. I remember one time I had like 2 quizzes and 2 tests on the same exact day. And let me tell you, I don't think that went well. I mean, I may have passed the quizzes, but the tests, yeah, I don't know, man. Most people I knew would just like cram tests and quizzes on like the last day. A lot of people did that because they just were too lazy to actually study. But it's like, who likes studying anyway, right? But for me, that was just dumb. When I would be studying, especially when it comes to like tests, I would almost immediately forget what I was studying, which was another thing I hated about tests. Is it's all this information, and then once you study it, it's like, dang, I already forgot about it. School bathrooms. I will say this, school bathrooms for me, especially when I was in high school, it wasn't that bad, for me at least. Like, granted, yeah, at certain moments there would be like fights, but for me personally, that was like kind of rare. Now, most people smoke inside the bathroom areas, but here's the problem. My school actually had smoke detectors, so if someone like smoked in the bathroom, the detector would immediately go off. Freshman year, they straight up told us that they had smoke detectors in the bathroom, so they made it clear to us to not smoke. I have never smoked, so it wasn't really much of an issue for me, but a lot of the other kids did. Now, I can't remember if this was during my sophomore or junior year, so for this, I'm just gonna say sophomore year. Anyway, for my sophomore year, a lot of the kids figured out a way on how to smoke in the bathrooms. So the smoke detector would be in a certain spot in the bathroom. Like, it would be plastered on the wall, but it would be on a certain spot of the wall in the bathroom. Because of this, a lot of the kids found out that the way to actually smoke without getting caught is they would go all the way in like the stall bathroom. Like, literally, they would go all the way in the back of the stall bathroom. I remember I would walk in the bathroom and dude, there were like 7 people in like one stall. I'm like, yo, what is going on here? A bunch of dudes like smoking up in the stall together. I'm like, what in the actual heck? I thought some other stuff was going on, if you know what I'm saying. Locker room was almost the same exact way, but to be honest with you, it was actually worse because there would be a lot more dudes in the locker room. Like, the locker room was the same as the bathroom. The smoke detector would be in one specific spot in the locker room, kind of like in the bathroom. There would be like many dudes going all the way in the back of the locker room and smoke it up. Like, I literally would walk in the back and there would be like 15 dudes, so even worse in the bathroom, just like smoke it up. I'm just like, I'm getting out of here, man. That was just so doofy to me. And the last thing that annoyed me back in school was the cafeteria. Okay, the cafeteria, especially their food, was kind of disgusting. The cafeteria was very unsanitary. Like, there would just be a bunch of disgusting stuff there. Cockroaches and all types of stuff there, man. I will say this, though. In elementary school, the pizza was actually pretty good. Back when I was in elementary school, they would give us, like, cheese pizza. I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday. One of those days. But they would give us, like, pizza. That cheese pizza was low-key good. I will admit that. The pizza was good. But everything else about the cafeteria was pretty gross. Including, like, the seats and the table. Like, they would just have, like, brown spots there. It was gross, man. But I hope you guys liked the video. I will see you in the next one.